This is Eric with another Battle Tanks League commentary video. Hopefully you can hear my voice right now. Yesterday I actually commentated a league game and it lasted an hour and 20 minutes and it turned out I didn't have my microphone on. So that was kind of frustrating, and it's actually not the first time I've made that mistake. And so hopefully if this video is uploaded, that means that my microphone was indeed on. It does appear to be on in my settings. So let's get into it. It looks like WildPants grabbed a Tinker from the South team and he secured himself a position in the middle. And now Incognito rolls in alongside him with two basic magics and a light tank. And they're going to be joined by Gorgots, who went a light tank and a basic cannon. And you can see a Pika bar in the comments reminding me to turn on the mic. It is indeed on. Anyways, in the middle they're going to be facing Diabolicue. That's okay, Diabolicue, and he got a Medivac with a Poison Blaster, just like the basic cannon on Gorgots' light tank. The Poison Blaster isn't the most commonly acquired weapon for Medivac, so I'll get into why in a little bit. They're joined by Alrion, who had a scout and who just got killed by the energy torpedo from WildPants. Alrion maybe was trying to play aggressively to kill WildPants, since WildPants was one shot away from dying. Anyways, in the middle there is also Ultima on the North team. So it looks like it's Alrion, Diabolicue, and Ultima. And Ultima has a Bombard Rockets upgrade, and Alrion has an Electro Cannon. Meanwhile, on the top, we have Whisper, who, as usual, has a light tank with a Fireball Cannon, and he's facing Cirdans, who randomed a Distributor and got a basic magic. And then on the bottom, we have EMZE, who is playing with a basic magic on his Raider, and he is going against Jack, who has a light tank and two basic magics. So it looks like there's a lot of light tanks in this game. I think the South team has 3 light tanks, North team has 1. Looks like I missed a kill in the middle. Looks like WildPants, the Tinker, did die. Diabolicue looks like he was the one to kill him, and he just got a second kill. He looks like he got a tank cannon shot, a poison blaster shot, and the super thrust, all on WildPants. So WildPants is going to have to be playing a bit more carefully, and Gorgots and Incognito probably do need to be trying to help him out as much as possible, both in the form of sharing damage, but also in case WildPants, or what's his name, Diabolicue, uses a super thrust on, say, Incognito, and WildPants is caught in the splash. That's another thing that could happen, so they need to be good about dodging the Medivac super thrusts and sharing damage with WildPants until he can either get a tank or an iron hull. Meanwhile, WildPants, I would probably, if I were him, helicopter would actually be a pretty good complement to these 2 light tanks. It would make it so that they have 3 triple rockets, and I think the only 1300 range in the middle right now, apart from WildPants himself, is Ultima with the Bombard Rocket Scout. And so it's not like the North team has multiple 1300 range weapons that the towers can tank pretty effectively. Diabolicue just got another super thrust on WildPants, who healed in the middle. Incognito tried to ward him off with the triple rockets. Nobody died in that exchange. And yeah, if I were playing in WildPants' position, granted I never play Tinker in League, so I'm not really qualified to make decisions on behalf of the players in my commentary, but if I were him, I'd probably save up for a helicopter, maybe a Medivac, but just try to get out of Tinker as quick as possible. I don't think there's much reason to stick with Tinker unless maybe he can secure a good spot in this strategic location. He is creeping his way forward. Looks like EMZE is pushing Jack to his own tower, and then I just missed a kill as soon as I panned away. Incognito died on the South team in the middle. EMZE is pushing Jack to the tower. That's probably not what I expected in this matchup. EMZE is, I'm not sure what their ELOs are. I think both of them are kind of low to mid-level players, but the Raider is usually a tank that doesn't quite start pushing the enemy tanks until maybe a little bit later. While EMZE's Raider does have the static charge that can apply consistent pressure to Jack, you're going to see him use it here. Jack is unable to hide from that. It's pretty much a consistent 200 damage every 20 or so seconds that's going to happen to him. Jack's light tank start with 2 basic magics does deal a lot more DPS and is a lot more effective at clearing creeps, and so it's disadvantageous for him that he is being pushed to his own tower. That tower is going to steal a lot of creep kills, so as long as he can maintain this position in this strategic location and not lose creeps to the tower, he should be able to hold his own against EMZE. Looks like EMZE is shopping though. It's now 5 minutes into the game, so EMZE just bought a tech mech and another basic magic, so now he has the same amount of weapons as Jack does. Jack will probably grab a hole soon, but EMZE does have the more consistent damage abilities against Jack. Let's see if he uses another static charge right now with Jack in the middle of the creeps. He does. Jack is able to push a wave of creeps to the tower. EMZE lost 1 creep there. Looks like Whisper has upgraded his fireball cannon, and he actually doesn't have as much gold as I would expect. I would expect him to already have the hole in addition to the fireball cannon upgrade at 6 minutes, but not sure quite what happened there. He actually does have an experience advantage over Cirdans, so it looks like he has been farming up a little bit more gold. I just feel like on the lane, you should have the fireball upgrade and the hole at 5 minutes, but maybe my math is off a little bit. Another kill in the middle. It was Ultima this time. Only the bombard rockets is the only thing he has on him that can actually damage enemy tanks is the bombard rockets, is what I meant to say. His tank cannon as the scout does extra DPS and it has extra range over the normal tank cannon, but it does not attack enemy tanks. And it also, and also his bombard rockets do reduce damage to WildPants. So these tanks and these Tinker Towers are pretty much safe from Ultima for now. That's probably why WildPants stuck with Tinker and got the iron hull. And if he is able to creep farther forward, then that is a good position for these middle tanks. They do have the towers in front of this strategic location back here, so they can fall back to that if they are ever pushed. So far it's actually the Light Force, the North team, getting the kills in the middle. Kills in the early game aren't too impactful, they're only about 200 gold each. Kills in the mid game, when they start becoming 600, 800, 1000 gold, that's what really swings the game. Diabolicue is doing a pretty good job of hitting his super thrusts. It looks like a lot of these Tinker Towers are taking damage. And Incognito is trying to get a kill on Ultima. His teammates aren't quite in position to follow it up. Though Diabolicue did take an energy torpedo hit, and then Gorgots finished him off. So that was a bit of a blunder there by Diabolicue, stepping too far forward. Looks like Whisper's grabbed a hole, and Cirdans still has his 2 basic magic upgrades, and Whisper's a little bit in trouble there. He was able to get behind his Marines. Let's see if either of these players go back to the command post to heal at any point. Looks like Cirdans is going to have to go back. Whisper's also going to go back. EMZE still pushing Jack at his command post. And you can start to see a little bit of the impact that the push has. EMZE is about a third of a level ahead of Jack. Let's see if he can increase that lead if he continues to push Jack. Diabolicue does try in to get a gank. It is unfruitful, so he's just going to walk back to the middle so that he doesn't have to spend another 75 gold. WildPants continuing to build towers and continuing to try to get energy torpedo shots on players. Incognito trying to kill Ultima once again. He doesn't have the DPS yet to do so. And I don't like, I was going to talk about this early on, I don't like this choice of basic cannon from Gorgots at the start of the game. You can see Incognito has tried multiple times to push enemy tanks, and Gorgots is unable to be in position because he's constantly taking damage from enemy tanks just due to their range advantage. The early game is a lot about just trying to position yourself carefully to take shots on enemies where they can't hit you, and if you do get into a skirmish, try to get the first volley out. And you can see once again Gorgots is a little bit out of position, unable to help out Incognito with Diabolicue. And this basic cannon at only 850 range, 860 range, sorry, well that's kind of a mid-range weapon for most of the game. It's relatively short range at the start of the game, and so he is outranged by just about every tank in the game, including Diabolicue, who went with the Poison Blaster. Usually the Medivac grabs a Molotov cocktail first, or basic magics. WildPants able to dodge Diabolicue's follow-up weapons. Now Incognito once again trying to put pressure on Diabolicue. Gorgots once again a little bit out of position there. Then looks like Jack has possibly a third basic magic, and so does EMZE. And EMZE is ahead just slightly in terms of leveling. Gorgots did get a kill in the middle on Diabolicue. Maybe Diabolicue stepped a little bit too far forward. So good job, Gorgots. He does have 2,400 gold saved up, so I'm curious as to what kind of weapon he's going to get. He never upgraded his basic cannon. So maybe he's trying to get a quick heavy tank. That could be possible. Maybe he's just trying to get a second basic cannon. I don't think he has a tech mech to bring him any weapons, so he might just wait until he dies and then goes back to shop. Incognito once again trying to put pressure on both Ultima and Diabolicue. Oh, he is able to kill Diabolicue. WildPants did teleport in to try to finish him off just in case. WildPants does have a swarm rockets, and then it looks like I can't see their names when they've died on the scoreboard. Ultima also died. Looks like he had dropped his iron hole. Maybe he was using his healing ability as scout and trying to drop the hole to get more hit points, and he was targeted right then by the enemy tanks, so that's pretty unfortunate, though you do have to be careful anytime you are dropping holes to try to get healing. And in addition to that, he had just bought a weapon and was unable to teleport right back into the fight. Walking isn't too big of a deal right now, so he does have an electro cannon to follow up with his bombard rockets. Hopefully that does help him clear WildPants' towers. Diabolicue dies once again to a combination of Incognito and WildPants' energy torpedo. And once again you can see this range advantage. Alrion took Gorgots down by 75%, with Gorgots not even dealing any damage to him. Gorgots does have 3,000 gold right now. Maybe he'll try to get a swarm rockets for 3,300. For anybody who doesn't know, if you're trying to get a quick swarm rockets or even electro cannon, one of the things you can do if you bought something like a Molotov or a basic magic at the start of the game is when you reach 2,500 gold, you sell your basic magic and buy the swarm rockets, and then you use your tech mech to buy the basic magic back at the shop. That allows you to get the swarm rockets a little bit sooner. And even though you have to sell the basic magic to do so, it's you do get your good weapon a little bit sooner, and then you can always just buy the basic magic or Molotov or other cheap weapon back at full price. Incognito once again trying to hit Alrion. WildPants gets a shot on Diabolicue, but neither of them die. Gorgots once again not part of that fight. He was off creeping a little bit. You can see he did buy an electro cannon after the basic cannon. Whisper with a second fireball, and Cirdans follows up his two basic magics with an electro cannon, and they both kill each other. Meanwhile, Jack with that third basic, EMZE with the basics and an iron hole upgrade. So it looks like EMZE has a slight gold advantage since they have the same inventories, but EMZE's tank is valued at about 800 more. I don't know exactly how much Raider costs. 1,800 or 1,900 or something like that. Maybe it was 1,700. So 1,100 advantage. minus whatever more Jack has than EMZE. So EMZE's about 500 gold more. And that does reflect in their level difference. Jack is about 8 2/3 and EMZE's about 9 1/4. Where is Cirdans? Whisper is dealing quite a lot of damage to his tower. Maybe Cirdans was in the middle briefly. Let's see if Whisper can kill this tower. He's probably not going to be able to, and he is a little bit vulnerable. Cirdans does teleport a mech in to repair that tower, so that tower should go back up. As far as I know, tech mech repairing is free. I wonder how that dynamic would change if you made tech mech repair cost money. I wonder if that would change the game to incentivize less camping and more trying to push people's towers. I think one of the complaints in this current meta is that there's too much incentive to park at your own command post and try to jump into the middle or jump into a lane when necessary. And even if your tower does take a little bit of damage, if your tower is getting pushed, you will lose creep kills to the tower, so that's kind of an incentive to not play too far back. But there is very little incentive if you are on a slight offensive, as Whisper is right now against Cirdans. There's very little incentive to try to push them all the way to the tower. Actually, Cirdans might get the kill on Whisper. Yes, he does. Whisper didn't have any creeps to protect him. Cirdans had 2 Marines to share damage. But if you do have a slight advantage against an opponent on a lane, as say EMZE does here against Jack, if tech mech repair actually cost money, instead of being free, you see Jack just barely survived against EMZE there. It would incentivize players like EMZE to aggressively deal damage to the tower, because that would cost Jack gold. As it is, EMZE can try to push Jack, but he has to be careful because Cirdans or anybody else, Alrion, can teleport in. And that's especially going to be true in the mid game once tanks start getting better abilities and teleporters and such. Looks like the middle cleared out WildPants' towers. WildPants is remaining as the Tinker. If I were him, I'd probably just grab a quick helicopter to get him by until 25-30 minutes when he gets a large tank. That Tinker is not very useful right now. It doesn't have any offensive abilities against enemy tanks, and with no towers, there's not much he can do. Maybe he'll try to get a quick heavy tank, and that's what he's saving up for. A helicopter would synergize well with these 2 light tanks, though. And with these towers gone, it looks like the North team is pushing the South team for now. Alrion with 3,000 gold saved up at 17 minutes, so he should get a good tank at around 25, or maybe a medium tank at 20. And then Ultima with 2,500 gold himself, so the North team is saving up. Diabolicue doesn't have that much saved up. Maybe he'll grab a kinetic shield and then start saving and rely on his 2 scouts to get powerful early tanks. And then meanwhile in the middle, Incognito has only just started saving up gold. Gorgots has very little gold saved up, and then WildPants has about 2,800 gold. So it looks like the North team on the middle is winning this matchup so far. Even though the kill counts are similar, these 2 scouts have farmed a lot more than anybody on the South team has. Scout does have the net ability to try to trap opponents, and it works this time. They're able to get the kill on WildPants and Incognito before WildPants can teleport out and EMZE can teleport in, respectively. Good play by the North team there. That's a bit hard to do as scouts like that because, as I said, their own tank cannon doesn't deal any damage to enemy tanks, and so they're down each about 180 DPS against enemy tanks. That does make a difference when you're trying to kill opponents like that. Good play by them to get the kill anyway. Jack pushing EMZE's tower with EMZE having to teleport into the middle. Jack does make himself slightly vulnerable, but he has too many creeps around him. EMZE with level 10, so if this North team does continue to push the middle, EMZE can teleport in and use his ultimate ability, hit and run, I think it's called, to jump on top of opponents and create a 4-on-3 situation. Let's see if EMZE takes advantage of that or if he tries to keep pushing Jack. Gorgot's a bit vulnerable. He is able to get the kill on Ultima. His triple rocket came off cooldown just in time. And then WildPants grabs a ghost tank in the middle. Ghost tank, not the best thing to grab in the middle. It's very impactful if you grab it on a side lane and if your team takes a control point, because now you can siege the base. So maybe with It's like Diabolicue got a kill on Incognito in the middle. So maybe with EMZE grabbing Raider, maybe he'll stick with Raider for a while and get some short range and then transition into Shredder rather than going Ghost Tank. And then Whisper usually grabs a heavy tank, so maybe they'll even switch WildPants to the lane permanently and try to kill Cirdans' tower and then push this command post. As long as these two players are scouts in the middle and these players don't play. It's like Whisper jumps into the middle, kills Ultima with his abilities. So yeah, let's see if they switch out WildPants, who just got another kill, or if they switch Whisper back now. Diabolicue and Incognito going at it. Incognito is going to be able to get a kill on Diabolicue, and then Jack's probably going to kill him in return. He does have a lot of creeps around him, and then Incognito is able to get a kill on Jack right as Jack kills him. So that was a great exchange for the South team. EMZE does have his hit and run active. He's just going to use it to kill some creeps and then return to base. And now this middle needs to tank up, because with Whisper and EMZE at level 10, and both of them having very potent tanks to teleport into the middle, the clock is now ticking, because Whisper can kill either of these scouts with abilities alone. Let's see whom he goes for right now. Ultima is vulnerable, and he takes one shot from the ultimate ability of the heavy tank. He needs to take two to die, and now Diabolicue might respond by killing him. Alrion's the one that gets the kill, and then WildPants tries to kill Diabolicue. Cirdans has bought a heavy tank, and he tries to use his abilities in the middle to no avail, and EMZE does grab the Shredder. So we have WildPants with or that's Incognito. We have WildPants with a Ghost and EMZE with a Shredder. Wonder if Whisper's gonna just stick in the middle now, and then EMZE will stay on the lane and just try to jump into the middle when necessary. They might have Gorgots face against Jack though. Alrion with a Hunter at 21 minutes and an Electro Cannon. That is very fast. Whisper is able to get a kill on Ultima anyway, and Alrion misses the Acid Cloud. WildPants is vulnerable. Alrion's tank cannon only targets tanks. It's the opposite of the scouts, so if Alrion has his main gun in him and WildPants takes a little bit more damage, then he will go down. Jack is a little bit out of position while EMZE's pushing him, so he can't help out with WildPants, and then it looks like Alrion didn't have his main gun recharged. So WildPants is able to get away from that situation. He does have to be careful, because that Alrion main gun does deal 2,000 damage. He only has 1,700. Looks like Alrion's going away though. Heavy tank's used, and then Alrion's main gun is used to kill Whisper. And now he's going to use the gravity grenade on WildPants, who is vulnerable. He can't hide behind creeps from Alrion's tank cannon, and Alrion gets a double kill. So right now we have a heavy tank and a Hunter in the middle on the north team. Those two scouts using their superior farming to get those tanks relatively early. And right now Whisper did teleport into the middle with his own heavy tank, but WildPants' Ghost Tank is looking kind of weak. They should probably move him to a lane, and then have Gorgots come to the middle, and then maybe Incognito come to the middle. I'm not sure how Goblin Tank works. You don't see it very often. It does have a very powerful stun ability, but you usually need to teleport on top of people to make it active. Let's see if Incognito is able to recharge it soon. If they were recharged, Cirdans would have died, but it looks like they were on cooldown. So yeah, it looks like EMZE's facing Jack, and then Gorgots is in the middle. Gorgots is going to be pretty vulnerable. He actually does get an assist on Alrion, along with WildPants and Whisper. So that was a good play by them. Cirdans having the Tech Mech bring him some speed. And then both of these players are playing very cautiously around one of another. They do have very powerful abilities. Incognito, if he gets a teleporter, he could also jump into the middle. Maybe get himself 1 or 2 kills before they start putting teleport breakers down. So if I were the South team, I would, if possible, I would try to play back a bit. Because you do have EMZE and Incognito who can jump in. Abilities used. Let's see if Alrion can finish off Gorgots. Whisper is sharing some damage for him. Gorgots is able to escape, and then they all go back to their command post. Then looks like EMZE killed Jack at the top. Cirdans is going to teleport and kill EMZE. Good job. And then Alrion gets a kill in the middle, and he's going to escape. Yeah, if they had WildPants, maybe sell his hull soon and start getting a mortar team, switch him out with EMZE, have WildPants push Jack and push this command post. Not only is Jack relatively weak, but if they steal this command post, then WildPants can siege from the closest command post to the enemy base besides the middle one. Abilities used by Alrion in the middle, they're going to trap WildPants. And now Whisper's going to try to counter with his own abilities. It doesn't do anything, and now Whisper's in trouble. He does hide behind his creeps, and the Diabolicue's super thrust misses, but it doesn't matter because Alrion had his main gun in store. Looks like EMZE is pushing Jack's tower right now. Alrion does teleport in. He doesn't have his abilities off cooldown though he is going to ward EMZE off for now. And then Incognito, I haven't seen him or Cirdans really doing much recently. Incognito gets his weapons back. He's probably going to want speed or a teleporter soon. Probably a teleporter. So maybe he'll sell a basic magic, and now we're going to see his abilities active, hopefully. Cirdans trying to ward him off, and he does get the hammer off, and he doesn't have any mana, but he is able to kill Cirdans. Cirdans tried to stall by getting the mortar teams. Didn't quite work, though. Incognito did render himself vulnerable enough that Diabolicue hopped in and killed him. Now we see Jack with a big tank, demon tank. He has enough gold to buy one of his basic magics back, though he doesn't have too much DPS right now. He is able to get the lava shot off on Whisper. He doesn't have the speed to follow it up and use his ultimate ability, unless Whisper needs to be careful, and so does Alrion actually. EMZE transfers, teleports him in, and then Incognito finishes him off. Gorgots gets a guard, so we've got guard, ghost tank, and heavy tank in the middle. Those aren't the strongest tanks. Guard is kind of similar to Hunter in that its ultimate ability can trap a group of ground tanks and then you can orbital strike them. The Hunter's ability is a bit more powerful though because it also works against air tanks and does more damage, though Guard isn't a bad tank for the middle. They probably should move WildPants from the middle, have somebody else face up against him, maybe just bring EMZE to the middle, and then have Whisper play in the middle as well. Diabolicue gets a darkness tank. That is a good support tank in the middle. And let's see what's happening on the bottom. Alrion tries to trap Incognito and EMZE in his gravity grenade to save Jack. It's not quite enough. Cirdans is coming to the bottom. He's a little bit late though. Yeah, that's not enough to kill Whisper. And then Alrion already used his abilities himself. Diabolicue trying to use his darkness orb. Misses, but if Ultima has his ultimate ability, then he can get a kill or two. Looks like a soft charge. Oh, he uses it now. Clears the creeps away from Gorgots. Now if they can follow it up, if Alrion has a single ability available, even just the Acid Cloud, he can get the kill right here. Once again, they can't hide from his tank cannon. Tries to use the main gun. He wasn't quite far enough back, and now Incognito has a teleporter. He teleports on top of him. If he has his hammer ability active, he can get the kill, but he doesn't, and now he's in trouble because Alrion has the gravity grenade, and once again they can't hide behind the creeps. If they can finish off Alrion real quick, they're not able to. So WildPants himself is in trouble. He just got acid clouded, and one more shot from the Hunter and he would die, and Alrion is barely able to get it off and escape with his life. Very good exchange for the North team, and bit of a lucky exchange there for Alrion, getting the shot off just in time. Now EMZE is going to try to teleport Cirdans into Incognito. It looks like Alrion's there to teleport in to ward him off. And so far I do like the tank choices of the North team more than those of the South team. I think they're more powerful tanks and I think they synergize a bit better. This Darkness tank and Hunter especially, they can be a real nuisance to groups of enemies. So if I'm the South team, maybe try to start aggressively pushing a command post. If they can take this bottom command post especially, which is vulnerable, they can start having WildPants siege. And if WildPants is able to siege, that's going to spread this North team out quite a bit. and avoid these group fights where this Hunter and Darkness tank excel. And their own tanks, Shredder, Incognito's Goblin tank, they excel at picking off individual opponents. So the more they can spread this game out and avoid large group fights, the better it's going to go for them, I think. Whisper is able to get a kill on Diabolicue. He's going to die for it. He trapped himself a little bit, and now EMZE's got to run. Alrion is able to kill him with his own tank cannon. That's been doing him quite a lot of good recently. Incognito does have his teleporter off cooldown, but there is a breaker here from Cirdans, so maybe Incognito's aware of it, maybe he's just assuming it's there. Gorgots takes a couple of abilities from Ultima, and then Alrion finishes him off. So right now the North team is getting a lot of kills. They're going to try to kill Ultima in return, but Cirdans and Alrion are there to share damage. Whisper is able to use his ultimate ability and just kill him off. Looks like WildPants is on the lane now, and he does have a siege pack, or he has the advanced troop command. Nope, just the siege pack. So he can start killing these towers. And yeah, if I were the South team, I would be aggressively pushing these side command posts, trying to spread the fight around. These Darkness tank and Hunter especially are more effective in group fights than they are in just one-on-ones or two-on-twos. And they are feeding Alrion way too much as a Hunter. Hunter can sometimes end up pretty poor because its own tank cannon cannot kill creeps, and so it doesn't have as much creep farm as comparable tanks. But Alrion already has 13 kills, and he almost got a 14th. He got the assist there, so he is getting quite rich right now. And he has 3,800 gold. He's probably going to get an orbital strike in the next 3 or 4 minutes. 4-on-3 from the South team. Alrion does trap both Incognito and WildPants. That is going to save them, and then Incognito teleports into the breaker. Actually, the Light Force killed him before Jack even needed to use his lava shot. So the South team is feeding quite a bit in the last 5 minutes. They don't have quite as powerful of tanks as the North team does, and it is showing. North team does have to be careful not to push too far though, because EMZE can take a command post out, and WildPants can also start making this one vulnerable. Attempted to gank at the top. Diabolicue using his Sphere of Darkness to try to trap the opponents, but now EMZE teleports in. Alrion's also here. Let's see if he can get the gravity grenade on WildPants. He does. This is pretty much a death sentence for WildPants. He does have 23, 22. He is able to heal up before making himself vulnerable enough to Alrion's main gun. And then looks like Diabolicue just used his Orb of Darkness just in case. And then Incognito gets the hammer on Cirdans. It's not quite enough to finish him off unless WildPants comes in. If he can share damage and save Incognito, Alrion has a 1/3 of a chance to kill Incognito with every shot pretty much. He is able to get the kill. Alrion is going to die in return before he can build anything. Now WildPants still has his siege pack. He has a teleporter now to escape. And now this top command post is vulnerable. Gorgots rooting himself as a guard. That makes him far too vulnerable, and now Alrion has the orbital strike. So if any of these tanks are trapped in Alrion's gravity grenade, they're pretty much going to instantly die. Between the gravity grenade and the orbital strike and the Hunter ultimate ability and now these darkness orbs, it's pretty much a death sentence. Even if you have a teleport, you're probably going to die if all 3 of these tanks are in position. So that's a very powerful combo they have in the middle. And I think the South team's only chance is if they are able to take one of these lane command posts. That will allow WildPants to siege, make himself useful. As it is, he's not that helpful in fights, in like 4-on-4 fights in the middle. So he needs to, yeah, he probably also should get some speed if He wants to even be able to reach some towers. But yeah, I think that's the win condition right now for the South team. They need to take a command post on one of the side lanes, and they need to do it sooner rather than later. Cirdans has been placing teleport breakers to stop Incognito. Right now it's a 3-on-2 on the bottom. Let's see if EMZE can pull somebody in. If he pulls in Jack or Alrion. Alrion does have that orbital strike and that teleport breaker. So Incognito has to be careful. He hits the teleport breaker. Alrion gets the orbital strike, and now Diabolicue teleports in. They're able to get a 1-to-1 trade. Actually a 2-to-0 trade. And so they got 3 kills to the South team's 1 kill. So that went about as poorly as you could expect for the South team. Incognito teleporting into Alrion's teleport breaker, and then the other 2 teammates getting caught in the orbital strike and the gravity grenade. So well done by the North team there. And now they are pushing this mid. Ultima does get the kill on the tower. Gorgots is dealing with too many creeps to help out. I don't think I've seen Gorgots able to use his root abilities so far. The ultimate root, I mean. He is dying too quickly to this combo of abilities from Ultima, Alrion, and Diabolicue. More teleport breakers in the middle. Sphere of Darkness is used to keep Gorgots from fleeing, and then the gravity grenade and orbital strike trap them, and now they're going to push the middle. Both WildPants and EMZE are out of position, and Alrion's going to build. Right now this is a 3-on-1 with a tower. Alrion has already used his abilities. WildPants can try to spawn creeps, but it's not going to be enough. In a 4.5-on-1, they're able to get a kill on Whisper as well, and now they take the middle. And they took the side. So it looked like Cirdans, meanwhile, was taking the side command post, and he built a teleport beacon, and Diabolicue and Alrion teleported in. And this is really looking bad for the North team. Their only chance right now is if they can get a push right now to this command post and start sieging the base as a ghost tank, but I think it's a little bit too late. The enemy team, the North team, has too powerful of tanks, and with this being the only command post, all of the South team has to concentrate here, and that just makes Diabolicue and Alrion more powerful. You can see they're using their abilities, the orbital strike, and they just got 3 more kills. So they're probably going to kill this tower soon. They will get back eventually. They won't make the push this time. WildPants isn't going to be enough to ward them off unless he's able to use the teleporter. They don't have a breaker quite in this position yet. WildPants' creeps are down. He only has his ghosts. If they can get maybe 2 more volleys, but nope, they're going to die. Let's see if EMZE can get a teleport in. Gorgots is trying to follow him, but he's a bit slower. Diabolicue might die. Alrion does try to ward him off with the Acid Cloud. He is able to get the kill on EMZE. The Gorgots did get 2 kills, and now he dies. So it's a 2-to-2 trade. That went pretty well for the North team, and now they get an additional kill. So they're still getting kill advantages over the South team, even when they're having to flee. And then meanwhile, Incognito gets a kill on the Tech Mech. He has a poison magic, so he does take the conservation, and he didn't even finish off the Tech Mech. That Tech Mech survived with 17 hit points. Very unfortunate for Incognito, but you also kind of wonder, like, was that Tech Mech worth dying for and being completely out of this fight that just happened in which his teammates were dying? So Alrion himself has a teleporter. He does use the gravity grenade. It misses, though the orbital strike does finish off the tower. If the South team can build, they can save this command post. They're not going to be able to. Alrion gets the build, and he does charge up that tower. It's going to target down Whisper, and then Incognito, and then EMZE. And now Alrion's coming in with Cirdans. If they can get a reinforcement, they can pretty much assure this command post. Alrion does indeed build troops, and now WildPants is vulnerable. He teleports out of the way. But I think that's all the control points held by the South team now. And they are just far too powerful at this point. I think they went from like 23 kills to the South team's 20, and now it's 52-32. So the fact that they got those powerful tanks all before 25 minutes is really what swung them the game. They were able to save far more as those scouts than the South team was, and now these tank combinations are far too powerful for the South team to deal with. And that ghost tank in the middle from WildPants, that really needed to be in the lane, and it really needed to take a lane. And without that, they are at a disadvantage. Incognito teleports in, trying to get a kill on Ultima, who runs away, and Alrion, who does have the teleporter in case he's too vulnerable. Ultima and Whisper get kills on one another, and now Alrion's going to get the kill on Incognito, and EMZE and WildPants are here. WildPants hits a breaker, and he's going to die before he can even respond to that. Now Diabolicue going after EMZE. Jack teleports in. EMZE is going to run away. And let's see how soon this South team gives up, because they are continuing to lose exchanges, and now they have the creep armor, or the North team has the creep armor advantage. They're going to get all this gold from destroying these towers, and the South team is going to have a hard time healing. If Whisper has a teleport in him, he can maybe steal a command post. Alrion is sitting there watching, and so is Cirdans. And he does have to push through quite a lot of creeps. WildPants and Incognito trying to push the bottom. WildPants does have a wave of troops. Once again, Jack this time is there to watch. Looks like Ultima is trying to ward off Whisper. If they can push this at the same time, Jack does teleport into Incognito, who builds a barricade. Incognito does have that poison magic to deal damage against Jack, though Jack has his own abilities, and now Diabolicue teleports in. And they do get the kill on Incognito, and Jack does teleport out of the way to save himself. Looks like Whisper also died on the top meanwhile. And Alrion has this rocket tower that's going to die to WildPants. Not sure why he built that. Maybe it was to save himself in a fight, though I don't know of any fights that recently happened in the middle. Does use the orbital strike on WildPants' creeps. And then Cirdans is going to try to get a kill on Incognito. He's going to have to back up. He doesn't have enough mana to use his ultimate ability. Jack stuns the tower. Alrion uses an acid cloud to try to trap Gorgots, but Gorgots just runs away, and they're just continuing to eat at these towers. This laser tower already starting to go down. Whisper on the top just finished an exchange with Ultima. They both have to run away, and then Whisper has to go all the way back. He just used his speed pack to save himself some healing time. I'm not sure if that was worth it, unless maybe Alrion was trying to kill him. EMZE does try to teleport onto Alrion. Alrion does trap him in the gravity grenade. The orbital strike is a few seconds behind because you saw him use it out of sync with the gravity grenade earlier. Incognito teleports in, but he is killed by all four of these players. And then Ultima and Cirdans do have the mortar team abilities as heavy tanks, so that is going to speed up this siege quite a bit. Let's see Ultima getting a kill on a rocket tower on the top. Let's see if he's able to kill another one before he has to go away. South team trying to repair these towers. EMZE's tech mix is a little bit vulnerable though. Alrion is trying to kill them. I don't know if gravity grenade damages tech mix. I don't think it does. But Whisper and EMZE looks like they're occupied elsewhere. EMZE just finished a fight in which he got a kill. Both of their tech mechs are vulnerable though. Looks like Alrion finished one of them off. Incognito at the top trying to get a kill on the command post. EMZE teleports in with them though. Jack is there to respond, and he uses his ultimate to damage both of them, and then Diabolicue and Alrion are there just as a redundancy. So an unsuccessful capture attempt from the South team. And now they are losing 61 to 34 in terms of kills. Alrion, I think there was another tech mech there that he probably killed. That's the only reason I can think of why he would use a random main gun like that. They're going to try to get a kill on WildPants. WildPants teleports away before Alrion can capture him in the gravity grenade, though Gorgots might be vulnerable. Alrion backs off. Incognito gets a kill on the bottom, and Jack is there, but he has to back up, and then Alrion gets a kill in this middle meanwhile. Now both of these laser towers are down, so these factories are going to start taking damage. And yep, the Cirdans has his mortar teams and his own weapons that might finish it off. Looks like there might be too many creeps, and Incognito jumps into another teleport breaker, and he's going to die before he can get any of his abilities off. Alrion taunting him with the teleport breakers. Whisper teleports in, tries to get his ultimate off on Diabolicue. These creeps are too much to really follow up with that. That's the advantage you get when you have armor upgrades. And it looks like they've actually been buying armor upgrades as well. They have 2 more armor than the north team's than the south team's creeps do. WildPants places a detector so that the Alrion's teleport breaker can finish off, or it can be killed. And EMZE is a little bit vulnerable. Let's see if Alrion has his main gun. He does. And this factory is almost down. Incognito does teleport in. He's going to get a kill on Cirdans. EMZE does transport Ultima. Ultima has his teleporter if he needs to get out really quick. He does get trapped by the roots. That may have been a bit of a mistake by him. He's able to barely survive, and then Diabolicue got an excellent Orb of Darkness on both of these tanks. And now that's a triple kill for the North team. Jack kills another tower at the bottom, and one factory is already down. Second factory going down from Diabolicue. See if he can finish it off before it spawns another wave of creeps. Yep. Whispered, WildPants, and EMZE are all there to kill Ultima. And I'm pretty surprised that this South team hasn't given up yet. They should soon. They probably should have 5 minutes ago, but yeah, this game's already over. And this North team continuing to place teleport breakers all around, just for Incognito. Whisper gets hit. He doesn't have a teleporter, so Jack could finish him off. Whisper spawns some mortar teams to tank for him. Now Incognito teleports on top of Jack. That's out of range of the breaker, and Incognito is going to get a kill. Ultima is here to try to kill Incognito, who teleports out of the way. Meanwhile, this bottom tower is about to be destroyed by Cirdans once again. And then now Whisper jumps into a teleport breaker. As soon as his teleport comes on cooldown, he can just get stunned again. Cirdans hitting, or Diabolicue hitting Gorgots with the Orb of Darkness. Gorgots is able to run away. And then EMZE have 1611 DPS, though these creeps are quite a lot. They're able to take too much damage, and so unless they can kill these tanks directly with abilities or by teleporting on top of them, not likely to happen, this South team is going to have a hard time getting kills on enemy tanks. And Cirdans is about to kill a third factory. Those mortar teams putting in work. Alrion gets a kill. And Diabolicue wards off Incognito with the Orb of Darkness. Looks like I missed WildPants trying to take this command post. He does spawn a lot of troops. They are going to die. He has a factory in, so this whole North team can teleport in. We've got Incognito there. We've got Whisper there. And wow, they are going to take a command post. Alrion the last to die. They did get a build as well. So well played. That's too little too late. 3 factories are already down and they're way behind in kills. But this is going to prolong the game by a little bit. And yeah, you don't see that very often. That was an excellent play by the South team, taking a command post. But let's see how long it takes for the North team to recapture it. Alrion claiming to have 13k gold, and yep, he has 12,000, almost 13,000, so he's been far too fed. 32 kills, 6 deaths. Gets another gravity grenade and orbital strike off. EMZE's unable to kill him, and now they get a build in the middle. And now this command post is gone once again. They're all going to teleport on top of Incognito. Oh, Whisper is there. I didn't see him there. He just got 2 kills. And he does have the barricade of Incognito to help take damage for him, but it's not going to be enough, and he teleports out of the way and hits the teleport breaker. Breakers all over the place, and they're paying for themselves manyfold. And now we're back with the siege of the base, and Incognito is one factory down, and the North team has plenty more kills. And with 3 factories down, this North team is going to get a lot more gold at the 50-minute mark as well. So, Jack and Diabolicue trying to ward off Incognito, force him back into the base, and then Alrion's going to use a gravity grenade and orbital strike once again. He's going to get stunned by Whisper, damaged by Whisper. EMZE barely escapes with his life, and then Incognito teleports to get the kill on Alrion. He's going to die in return though. WildPants just try to stall with a bunch of troops. It's not going to work, and now he's vulnerable to Jack. Jack kills him, and now let's see if he can get the kill on Whisper. Whisper teleports out of the way. He also builds a tower that's just going to die to Cirdans. Now 4 factories are down, and these mortar teams, I wonder what level of mortar team does 1500 damage. Incognito teleports on top of Jack. He is going to get the kill, though he does die in return. And now EMZE trying to kill Diabolicue. WildPants is also there to teleport onto him. There's no teleport breakers this time, so good play by the south team there. But now 5 factories are down. Alrion just gets a solo kill on Gorgots, and he did in fact have a lot of gold saved up. Photon bombs is a $20,000 cost weapon. It will increase his bounty quite a bit, unless he's able to teleport out of the way. If Whisper has a teleport in him, he doesn't. They're able to kill Ultima, but they don't kill Alrion, who has 1250 bounty. That's a large chunk of change. Cirdans once again using mortar teams. That protective tower is about 40% down. They're going to try to kill Cirdans if he can teleport out of the way. He does. Whisper trying to stall the game still with 2 factories. Farm some gold that way, but right now it's 1113 armor upgrades to 11.9. So the south team, or the north team, does have 4 armor upgrades. And they can get Goliaths, I think, at armor 13. So let's see if any of them do so, or if they get a larger tank soon. Ultima using his own mortar teams. That one protective tower is nearly down. Incognito and Alrion kill one another. And now Jack gets an excellent lava shot on Whisper, who has to teleport out of the way. Let's see if Cirdans is able to get another mortar team off that kills a protective tower. They are targeting the wrong tower, though they might just kill this north protective tower with the weapons. Nearly. They're going to have to run away now. But this base is very close to falling. And yeah, let's see if anybody on the north team is saving up any significant amount of gold. Not there, not there, not there, not there, and not there. So they're probably just trying to buy the weapons and items they need to finish this game soon, and we probably won't see any end game tanks unless the south team is able to stall the game a little bit more. Alrion, it looks like he was trying to fake the gravity grenade against Incognito, but he followed it up with a real gravity grenade that missed. One protective tower is now down, and they're going to push into the base with this second protective tower. Orb of Darkness at Gorgots, and now they're going to kill the other protective tower, and this pretty much spells the end, because now it's just these own tanks, DPS, trying to ward off the creeps and the enemy tanks. Incognito is trying to take up a command post. Ultima is there to teleport out. Incognito barely gets the kill on him. But in the meantime, this headquarters is already halfway down. These factories are going down as well. Probably the next push will end the game from the north team. Alrion is known to get bombs, so let's see if he does that. He's probably just going to try to finish this game. Alrion teleports smartly into the teleport breaker so that he can't be followed. Diabolicue was able to be killed by Incognito though. One factory from Whisper is destroyed. Now Ultima is going to kill this barricade. And the next push from the North team definitely finishes this game. Even if WildPants can take the middle. At this point, if I were the North team, I'd just ignore them if they're all running around at the top in the middle. Just kill the base. Jack misses Whisper, but is able to damage the headquarters. Alrion places teleport breaker inside the enemy base. And yep, this is the end of the game. So well done by the North team. Superior farming and saving in the early game led them to get a better tank combo, and that swung the game from 23-20 to now 90-57. Anyways, this is Eric. Once again, hopefully if you can hear this, that means my microphone was on and working this time, but even when I do get frustrating sessions where I talk for an hour and 20 minutes and it's to no avail, I do love doing this, and so I'll see you guys next time. Titan Music out.